Now we're going to look at what we have to do to repair a sash. The sash is, this isn't the same one that we took out in the window, but it's a good example. We have, we're going to pretend that we're replacing the glass, and if nothing else, you can see the putty is bad in this window. It's missing here and missing all the way around here. So usually you want to clean that old putty out, and you don't want to break the glass if at all possible. Sometimes this glass is old glass that looks wavy, and is really kind of nice to try to keep. So having a good putty knife helps. One way you could do it is, kind of work it slowly and break that loose. Now we have a lot of time, we have something to help us if it doesn't come out as easy as this. It's a putty softener, which is basically a heat element that you can put next to the putty and leave it there for a little bit, and it'll soften the putty to break it loose. It actually feels softer again, and it makes it a little bit more pliable, so that you can end up pulling all the old putty out. You see the glass is coming out well. If you leave the heat on too long, you can crack the glass. Okay, so there we have one side clean. Right now, once the glass has been taken out, you've got your putty out. Then you look at the sash to see what it needs to do. You end up inspecting it, see if there's any rot in it. And if there's rot, there's some epoxy sealers that you can put in there to kind of consolidate the wood. This one's not in bad shape. It does have a crack here, which we'd have to replace later. This window, though, did have a problem. It ended up being rotten all along the bottom, and the mid-rail had rotted out. So we replaced it. So I wanted to show you how you do that. Well, remember I said that these are made to be repaired. Each window you'll find in the corner is pegged. And what it is it has a round hole that's been drilled, and then they have a square peg. Now we've whittled these ourselves. We make them a little bit bigger and bigger so they get tighter as they go in. And then we hammer them in, and after we hammer them in, we cut them off, and that holds your window together. So the next time somebody wants to repair your window, they just pop the pin, and you can work on it again. We also have a little bit of epoxy work we did here where it was rotting. But if you take the pins out, you can see how this piece was made to fit the window. You try to use older wood that has clear vertical grain in it, and then so that it will last a long time. So here you have a window that's over 100 years old with a new bottom, and it's ready again. Go back in and give you longer service. Next we want to do is talk about putting your glazing back in the window. Okay, so now we've repaired the window and it's ready to put in glass. So now we're going to go back to this one where we pulled the glazing putty off, and we're going to re-glaze this glass back in. Once you've cleaned this joint out, sometimes what we dig is a brush, and we brush a little bit of linseed oil in here to soak into the wood. That allows the glazing to actually attach really well to the wood. The next thing you do to keep the glass in and it doesn't fall out, the glazing putty doesn't actually hold it in place. They have glazing points that do that. If you go to a glazer or window place, they will use one of these. And basically, it shoots a little diamond, and that'll hold the glass into place. If you're not going to invest a lot of money, you can go to the hardware store and get these push-in points, glazing points. You can find them at any hardware store. These are in the shape of the diamond point, but they have a place to push it in with a putty knife. So you end up putting this down on the glass, take your putty knife, push it up against it, then slowly twist it, and it'll slowly go into the wood until you run into the end there, and that will hold your glass down too. After this, we're ready to put in our glazing. Okay, so now we've put our points in, and we're going to go ahead and start glazing this side. Put one more point here for good luck. Now, to get the glass to sit really well, a lot of times if the seat that you have there, if the glass is sitting on, if it's really rough and cut out, some people will take the glazing and actually run some of that and push the window down into it. We're not going to do that today because it's not too bad. First thing we want to do is clean the glass so that you don't have a whole bunch of dirt. Plus, that much age, you know you got a lot of oils and dirt and stuff in there. So now you would continue to do that all the way around the glass. We're only going to be glazing this one side. Next, you take your favorite glazing compound. Some are better than others. The old linseed oil ones are hard to find, but there's some standard ones you can buy that have some linseed oil in them. First, you take a bunch of putty like this, and you just kind of roll it in your hands. You kind of make a snake out of it, which is kind of fun, and pretend you're doing dough. Lay it into your opening. Got your putty knife. A flat putty knife works, or this one will work. Then you pull. See, we didn't use any linseed oil here, so it's kind of pulling away. We'll come back and fix that. And press. Just a little bit there. Going to fix that again. Now you want this to come out so it covers all the points and comes out as close as you can to the wood on the other side, so you don't have a white line going down the glass when you look at it from the inside. So we cut away a little bit more, pressing it in there still. Got some gaps. Get some more in there. Here I didn't get this really clean in the corner, so it pulled out with that dirt. Now the corner is kind of clean, so that's good reasoning or good show that you need to really clean your corners out really well. And remember, this isn't rocket science, so if you're close, once you paint it, no one's going to see it if it's not exactly perfect or beautiful. There are real artists to do this. We are pulling out again. If you do linseed oil it or prime it with oil primer, that'll eliminate that.